It is time to monetize your big idea. Join us on the 29th to the 31st of August in Hollywood. Become a leader in your category. Change the rules of the game. Change your struggles into confidence, your abilities into possibilities, your challenges into opportunities. Change the things you don't like. All you need is within you. It is time to monetize your big idea. Connect with your ideal clients, attract media attention, share your passion, speak on stage, walk the red carpet on the 29th to the 31st of August in Hollywood. Be the masterpiece. Get your ticket today at www.SpeakonRadio.com. Be seen, be heard, be present.
Good morning, and we are back, or good evening for James Michael Lafferty, who is speaking with us this morning, or this evening, all the way from Manila. We have some technical difficulties. We've been trying to fix them all morning. I'm calling from my phone now. So Jim, my question was, before the break, was what it takes to turn your life around.
What does it take to turn your life around? I can say lots of things, which from having a vision and all that. But at the end of the day, it takes the willpower and the discipline to make whatever your plan happens. I mean, every couch potato in the world has grand dreams and visions. And so when people, the self-help experts and that come around and say, that you got to just have a vision for yourself, it's not good enough. Yeah, what that vision, everybody's got visions. Every country in the world's got visions. Every company has visions. Why does one company succeed and the other one fails? Why does one individual succeed and another one misses? Because they lack the prerequisite to make a vision into reality, and that's discipline. And, discipline is a huge issue in the world today. I think it's a personal opinion, but why? How do you explain, despite the fact that the world today has the highest standard of living that it's ever had in the history of mankind, yet the incidence of depression and the needs of taking Prozac and Zoloft and all these other prescription drugs, and serotonin reuptake inhibitors. Why is this? And I think a lot of it is that, happiness is a choice. And it starts with people aren't getting what they want because many people want it without having to pay the price. I mean, the most laughable sentence that I ever hear come out of human beings' mouth is the following sentence: I'm disciplined when I want to be. That is the biggest joke statement that a human being can utter. Because the definition of discipline is doing something when you don't want to do it. So, so if you tell me you're disciplined when you want to be, everybody is. The whole world's disciplined when they want to be. That means you don't mind. The real discipline is when you don't want to do what you need to do and you get up and do it anyway. And then we'll measure discipline. And so that's the gap. That's the underlying issue that drives a lot of things today. It's one of the bigger concerns that I have in some of the groups, not everyone, of course, but some of the massive discussion about the millennial generation is an entitlement mentality, which is, I deserve this. I mean, I'm amazed at when I see even people in my own family who they live in the United States and they say, I deserve a job in my hometown, and they blame Obama. And they say, I want to live in this city and I want a high paying job in this city because that's where I want to be. And I sit there and I look and I say, when I changed jobs in the middle of the global financial crisis, I had to go from the Philippines to Nigeria, leave my family in the Philippines and commute 18 hours because that's where the jobs were. And I didn't complain or cry to anybody. I did what I had to do to earn a living. And I find it amazing that a college graduate in the U.S. at 22 years old thinks that they deserve the right to have a job in the city that they want and the income that they want. And, that's their right. And it's the problem that the president didn't do his job is why they can't do it. I mean, that's the state that gets people concerned. I was on Facebook the other day and I see a young person that used to work for me, and she puts up on Facebook, I'm 30 years old and I've done a hard 7 years. Now it's time for me to take a year off and do a sabbatical and go to Latin America and learn how to paint, and goes on about, I don't respect these hardworking workaholic people to become CEO and blah, blah, blah. And I sit there and I say, when I was 30 years old, I wish I had the luxury to go and take a year off and go down to Brazil and learn how to paint. I mean, for Christ's sake, when I was that age, I had 3 kids and I had bills to pay. And for me, working hard was a joy. Why is it suddenly bad to love your work? Why is it bad to accomplish something? Why do we have to celebrate someone taking off a year and going and getting drunk on a beach in Brazil for a year and learning how to paint? I mean, these kind of things are what concerns people, and it's a lack of discipline. This is how life is. Life is fundamentally a struggle, and you have to learn how to overcome it and smell the roses and enjoy the small things. And, look at somebody like you, Marina, who I'm so proud of, who has just made if there's a self-made woman in this world, it's you. It was not easy. When you look at your life and your family and what happened in your personal life and how you had to build up the entire, hotel alternative by yourself and make that into something and leverage yourself to the max. I mean, you have made everything, and it was hard work, and nobody handed that to you at all. But, so when you see somebody expecting to get handed to them, it's very difficult to sympathize.
Well, Jim, I was considering to ask you this question for a long time. Where is your courage coming from? You prove over and over again that it takes courage to stand up and speak and express your views and make the world a better place. It's all about courage. And you also prove to have a lot of courage when listening to other people, when connecting with their story, when connecting with their core values. What keeps your courage at such a high level that I'm always being up to you?
It's nothing magical. I think it's principles. If you have a principle, doing the right thing and leaving a legacy, it's empowering. It gives you strength, and it gives you a belief that, this will all work out because you're on the right path. It's not anything magical. I think probably early on in life, there are these defining moments in your life where you're confronted in a situation and it works out for you. I think I got lucky as a young man, and I had certain situations occur to me where I took a stand and it worked in my favor. And that empowered me to do more. I often think back that if 1 or 2 situations in my youth had gone the other way, I could be a totally different person today. And it's something as a parent that haunts me on a regular basis, which is there's these moments in life where a child is either going to turn left or right, and how do you control the outcome? And you can't. You can only equip your children as best you can to make the right choice when that time comes. But I think I had a bit of luck and a bit of good fortune early in my life that I took a stand as a young boy, and it worked, and I was rewarded for it. And so it empowered me to do it again. And then that worked, and then I did again. And by the time I hit failure with it, I had enough success that it didn't cause me to waver in my conviction. So, I can think back in my childhood of 3 or 4 very, very crucial moments where my life was at a crossroads and I didn't know it. And it went my way.
Thank you so much, Jim. Marina is having technical difficulties, but she is back. But it's Sarah sitting on the other side. manning the studio and learning every moment, taking notes. Marina, you're back online?
Yes, I am. Thank you, Sarah. I don't know, it was one of those mornings where things are not there. You have to imagine them and make them happen. So Jim, looking at your life and looking at the beautiful people you have in your life and everything you create in this lifetime, what would be for you one thing that you love the most? I know you got everything to love, everything to live for, and it's so much more going on. Your younger son is now joining the championship life, and I wonder what is the one thing that you love the most?
Well, it would clearly have to be a person, and I think, there's a person in my life that is, not only my wife, but as a partner and someone who pushes me to be better. And I think that's the ultimate in a partner, which is they try to make you even better, and they've got the courage and the conviction to make, to sometimes give you the tough feedback and not always just tell you what you want to hear, and someone who complements your skills. And when you put, there's an old business theorem, which is 1 + 1 = 3, which is when you put two things together, the sum is greater than the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. And I would say, it would be my wife, Carol, who, has been a real blessing and a joy for me, and has made me a better man and a better person, and has been there for me in thick and thin, and has shown her character on so many occasions. And, what more can a person ask than that? And, so many relationships start on a shaky foundation and shaky footing. And, this was a relationship based on, common values and principles and complementary skill sets, and, the willingness to help the other become all that they can be as a human.
Well, I know Carol, and she always inspired me. And you remember when she was running the marathon, that beautiful picture of her, I was looking, but because we have technical issues, I can't bring it up. But I have a big print of that picture when she was reaching the finishing line, and she looked as if she's ready to start. And to me, that's the most powerful picture of energy and beautiful. I don't know, everything about that picture says everything about life. And I'm so grateful, Carol, if you are listening. I'm always looking at your picture. Each time life gets in the way, I'm thinking, no, I'm going to start again, as if I never ran before. So, Jim, given the transitional economy and all the struggles people are facing on a daily basis, regardless they have their own business, regardless they have they work for a corporation, or even if they are retired, what would you recommend to those people out there listening to do next in considering the economy is always changing and is moving in a direction that sometimes nobody knows where it's going? What would be your advice?
That, from a financial perspective, I think that what folks have forgotten is you have to pay yourself first, and that's about saving money. And there was recently an article of a bus driver in the U.S., and the guy saved $500,000, and he did it right. And every time he got a raise, he invested 50% of the raise into his savings plan and investments.